Jai Hind student, welcome to biology class. Now students, in this lecture we will discuss about the different cropping patterns which are used in the field in order to achieve good production of food. So let's discuss about the different cropping patterns. Now different cropping patterns which are used by the farmers to increase the crop yield are, that is your mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. These are the main three types of cropping patterns which are used by the farmer. Now the first is your mixed cropping. Now, as the name suggests, it is the cropping pattern in which two or more crops are grown together in the same field. एक ही field में एक से ज़्यादा crops grow किए जाते हैं, and the main aim of this cropping pattern is to ensure कि even suppose some maybe due to some calamity or maybe due to some environmental factor, maybe one of the crop does not grow properly, so the other crop give the yield. So this is the main advantage of mixed cropping कि किसी वजह से किसी एक क्रॉप ने अगर यील्ड नहीं दिया तो दूसरा क्रॉप यील्ड दे रहा है. दैट मीन्स कि फ्लो जो है वो बना हुआ है प्रोडक्शन का. Okay, the seeds of different crop are combined and planted together. Same fertilizers are used for all the crops. So for example, wheat and gram, they are grown together, then wheat and mustard, groundnut and sunflower. So this type of combination are usually used by the farmers in order to get the yield or in order to get the crops. Now next, this you can see in the figures, this is your mixed farming. As you can see, different rows of different crops, okay, parallelly they are grown. Now next is your intercropping. Now in this method, two or more crops, they are grown together but in a specific pattern. Okay, in mixed farming, there is one disadvantage, that is there is no pattern. They are grown in a haphazard way. Okay, but haphazard means कहीं भी कोई भी crop जो है seed जो है sow कर दिए जाते हैं. But intercropping में the purpose is same, दो एक से ज़्यादा क्रॉप्स ग्रो करना बट इन अ डेफिनेट रो. ठीक है, एक पर्टिकुलर रो एक पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न में ग्रो किया जाता है. Now these crops, they are used different kinds of fertilizers depending upon their own requirement. So here the requirement of each and every crop is different, so that is kept in the mind, and with that view that type of fertilizer is used for that particular crop. Okay, the main objective of this method is to ensure maximum productivity of the crop. Now next, since the crops they have different nutrients requirement, they will use maximum nutrients from the soil. So because different crops are grown which have different nutrient requirements, but in case of mixed farming, you have seen the same fertilizer is used for all the crops. There is no specific requirement, but here intercropping mein it is there. Disease and pest would also not easily spread to all crops. This is also prevented. The risk of disease, the risk of disease means pest attack is also prevented in such type of crops. For example, soybean and maize, they are sown together. Then then millets and cowpea, they are grown together. So that is your intercropping. Now the next is your crop rotation. Now crop rotation, that you have already studied before also. In this cropping pattern, different types of crops are chosen and they are irrigated on the same land of sequentially, means एक के बाद एक sequence में grow किया जाता है. Means एक साथ यहाँ पे crop को हम एक से ज़्यादा crops को नहीं grow कर रहे हैं, but एक alternate way में means crop को हम grow किया जाता है. ओके, स्पेशली लेग्यूमिनस प्लांट के साथ इसको ऑल्टरनेट किया जाता है क्रॉप रोटेशन में. Okay, rotation of crop depend upon the soil, climate and water retention of the soil. Now how this crop rotation is useful? Now if farmer grow the same crop on the land for a long time, so what will happen? The same nutrient is used by that crop, so it will cause depletion of that nutrient in the soil, so thereby the fertility of the soil will decrease. So this is the main advantage. It retain the soil fertility. Soil fertility को maintain रखता है crop rotation. Next, when crops with different nutritional requirement are grown on the soil, nutrients get enriched and fertility of the land is maintained. Secondly, क्रॉप अगर हम रोटेट करके ग्रो करते हैं, मीन्स अभी कुछ और चना बोया फिर वीट बोया, सो इस तरह हम चेंज करते रहते हैं. सो व्हाट हैपन इन दैट केस, द सॉइल फर्टिलिटी इज मेंटेन्ड. ओके. और बिकॉज जो है हर क्रॉप की रिक्वायरमेंट अलग है, सो दैट पर्टिकुलर न्यूट्रिएंट विल नॉट बी डिप्लीटेड, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट टाइम हम दूसरा सो कर देंगे. सो इन दिस वे द फर्टिलिटी इज मेंटेन. डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स आर नॉट सस्पेक्टेबल to all kinds of pest and disease. This is also the main advantage. If you change the crop sequence, then the chances of pest attack and diseases is also minimized. Planting different crops on rotation can lead a better yield. So that is also, crop rotation allow a reduction in the number of fertilizers and pesticides on the field. So this also is the one of the advantage of crop rotation, that the reduction of fertilizers and pesticides on the same field. So this is all about the different cropping patterns. Okay, now we will study about the crop protection management. Now the crop is sown. Now there is need to protect them from the disease, from the pest. So how it is done, that we'll be studying in the next lectures. Thank you everybody.